Hello. This is something I don't do very often. A very spontaneous sprint session. I found myself playing video games this afternoon and thinking I really do want to read, but I don't really want to stop playing video games. And I thought it would be more fun and more enticing to me to read if I knew that I was doing it with some friends. So here we are. And I'm happy to see that spontaneously, uh, even though it was so spontaneous, I am not completely alone here. Shout out in the comments if you are here. It's always good to know who's around. And I'm going to, if I can find, there. I'm just going to also spontaneously invite some people and see if they want to join, if they have time. Give me just a sec. And then we will read, or I'm also happy to chat with you guys in the chat. So if you got things to say, questions to ask, put them in the chat. Let me know. Maybe maybe I have answers. Maybe not. We'll see. Let me see. Who am I going to invite? It's always weird because I'm in Germany, as you know. It's always kind of weird with time zones because right now it is 10 in the evening here. And where most people are, not everyone, we've got a fair few Europeans that hang around the pub, but where a lot of people are, it is now 4 in the afternoon, if I mathed correctly. East coast of the US, it's 4 in the afternoon. And that means spontaneous things like this, yeah, at times that work for me, they don't actually work for people in the US because they're working, or many of them are, but apparently many of them aren't. So K2's here, not in the US. Aslan's here. Good to see you. Peter made it. I'm really pleased to see so many people spontaneously jump in. That is correct, Recut. Monday Pub, so to speak. Hi, Caro. Hi, Thornall. Wow, it's almost like a Sunday pub. Colton's even here. Laying on the couch watching Adventure Time. I'm going to go see Superman in a few hours. I saw Superman, I think a week ago now, and really liked it. Really liked it. I was a little surprised. I think I went in quite skeptically. There have been a lot of Superman movies, and not all of them have been awesome. And I liked Henry Cavill. I didn't like the Henry Cavill movies, but I liked Henry Cavill as an actor, as Superman. And new story, a new actor, and like it just feels, especially like with Batman, it just feels like Hollywood overdoes redoing the same superhero movie again and again and again. But Superman, the new one, was really good. I was really happy with it. It seems like, it feels, maybe it's just I'm feeling this way because I'm noticing it, but it feels like there's a trend of hopeful, optimistic media, that we've had a long trend of quite cynical and negative and kind of bitchy media. And it feels like there's sort of a, like, I love Ted Lasso, which is super optimistic and hopeful and positive. and still has a really good story and is super well written and is very well acted and everything else, but it's just very positive. Um, and the new Superman movie kind of falls into that category as well. It's just unashamedly optimistic and hopeful and positive, which I like a lot. The world needs more of that. I certainly, with my particular mental health, I certainly need more of that. Um, House of Chains, current favorite Malazan book. Okay. Yeah, House of Chains doesn't rank that high with me. Um, but yeah. Where am I at with House of Open Wounds? So, I'll try and keep it as vague as possible, but Aslan will know what I mean. The counterattack has just happened. So, you should know what that means. Um, but yeah, House of Chains is, of course, amazing. We talked about this yesterday. It was only yesterday, last time I was doing this. Um, we talked about that yesterday. A bad Malazan novel is still an amazing novel. Ida is also here. Good to see you, Ida. Wow. It's nice to know that people are sitting around at home and are available for spontaneity as much as I am. Um, yeah, optimism in dire situations is an awesome niche genre. Um, Ted Lasso isn't really exactly what I would call a dire situation, but it is. I mean, I guess in a way it is. Like the basic setup is an American lower level football coach goes to coach football, soccer in the UK, and is way out of his depth. Has no idea what he's doing, and it remains stunningly positive and optimistic and hopeful and generous to other people the entire time. Which is it's a great show. I love it. I've watched it the whole thing 4 times, I think. Um, yes, House of Chains feels very different from the previous 4. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've heard that, Peter. I think Evie says the same thing. I know she loved House of Open Wounds, but what is it? The next one, Days of Shattered Faith. Um, she liked even more, I think, if I remember correctly. Uh, yeah. See, hi, Mac. Good to see you. See, R. Scott Baker is something I've actually been. I think I had an unconscious avoidance for a long time, and I have developed an active avoidance because it sounds so nihilistic and so rough and so dark. It's just not a good place for my head at the moment. Eventually, I may get there, but there are so many things that are not quite as dark to read, which is probably better. Which do I like better, Superman or Fantastic Four? Superman, for sure. Fantastic Four was, the more I think about it, the more it just sort of left me a bit flat. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't actively really good either. It was far from the best Marvel superhero movie. But Superman, I mean, keeping in mind that Superman has already been overdone, I thought this one did it pretty well. See, I'm a Christopher Reeve Superman boy. I am old, as you know, and I grew up. I watched the very first Superman movie when it was in cinema, and Christopher Reeve was my Superman for a long time. And there were multiple movies, and he was a great Superman. And yeah, that sort of always stuck in my head. And he was also he was almost a corny positive Superman. And this one is a bit more realistic positive, I guess you could call it. Yeah. Um, Days of Shadow Faith is also great. More political intrigue. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, it feels like, I mean, I've only read 1.5 books, but it feels like in the series, each book has sort of a thing. Like the first book, the thing is revolution. And the second book, I'm still getting into the thing. And I guess politics and political intrigue could be the thing for the third book. Um, cool. Working from home today. Yeah. Glad you could join, Terry. Good to see you, man. Hi, Aaron. Tyrant philosophers slowly rising in the ranks of favorite series. Okay. I'm curious how it goes. So far, it hasn't. House of. First of all, I have to be fair to Mr. Tchaikovsky and say that my mind just hasn't been in a great space for a number of months, which makes it really, yeah, yeah, it makes it really difficult to really fully get into a book. I don't feel like I've really super gotten into a book this year almost. Um, and House of Open Wounds and more City of Lost Chances. I had the feeling they were both kind of, I don't know, like I felt like the surface of those books was too frictionless. That doesn't make any sense probably to anyone but me. But I just didn't catch on anything. It didn't grab me at any point, which is yeah. Hi, Jacob. Good to see you. Um, I don't know what you're talking about, Thornall. The greatest interview since God talked to Moses. What? Did I miss something? I don't know what you're replying to. Um, when darkness gathers, Mac. Yeah, I heard yesterday. I think it was Brian Bell, in the pub yesterday said it's very good, and I'm not surprised. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I only read the first book in the trilogy, and then when Darkness Gathers is like the fourth or a 3.5 or something, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean either, Peter. Tchaikovsky has basically outlined the idea of what the series is going to be. I'd avoid it if you want to be blind. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I thought you meant if you want to go blind. Um, yeah, if you want to go in without spoilers. Yeah. Hi, Marianne. Good to see you. Hope you are well. Uh, J.V. Jones, A Fortress of Grey Ice. Never heard of it, which doesn't mean anything, but I've never heard of it. Yes, Kara. Gene Hackman as Lex was pretty classic. I mean, Lex should be bald. Gene Hackman wasn't, but he is a great actor. Gene Hackman is awesome. I loved him in Unforgiven. He was such a despicable and yet understandable bad guy. Although everybody's pretty much bad guy in Unforgiven. So Philip continues to be excellent and shows less of his dark mind. Yeah, I was knowing Philip because I had at the point where I read his first book, I had known him for a couple of years and we'd done all sorts of streams together and chatted all over the place online and offline. And so I had a picture of Philip, and then when his first book starts with a couple of pretty graphic and horrible murders, I was like, whoa, I did not expect that to be coming out of Philip Chase's mind. Yeah. Uh, Perry White says to Lois that if she can get an interview with Superman, it would be the greatest interview since God talked to Moses. Ah, okay. Gotcha. I understand now, Thornell. I don't have those movies saved in my head to the point that I can quote vocabulary or quote lines out of it. So Um, how about no, Caro? I'm just so uninterested in romance books. I like a nice romantic movie, but for some reason, reading a book that is primarily I don't mind some romance in a book, but I'm just not at all attracted to reading a book that is primarily where the main point of the book is the romance. Um, it's just doesn't do anything for me. Um, I don't disrespect anyone that reads romance. Everybody has their thing, and I'm not going to diss anyone for reading romance or even romantasy, but it just doesn't appeal to me personally at all. Um, so yeah, not so much my thing. My God, it's odd. I do remember that. So the whole point of this was to sprint a bit. Why don't we do that? I would like to read the main reason I started this spontaneous Sunday pub. I should take that logo away. It's not actually a Sunday pub at all. Not really. Um, let me. I know that there's a way. There we go. Yeah, logo is gone. Um, I I wanted to do this spontaneous Schplintz stream to actually get some reading in and motivate myself with you fine people in the chat to read a little more since I've been reading so little lately. Um, yeah, it's Monday pub ish. Drinking is allowed, Peter, especially at 10 in the evening or past 10 in the evening here. So, um, sorry to hear that, Tori. Not in the chat, but in private DM, Tori still has a migraine. Sorry to hear it. Not nice. Very not nice. I hope it goes away soon and quickly. Um, so let's do a bit longer splints than we normally would in the Sunday pub, because the Sunday pub's meant to be kind of a mix of chatting with people on screen, and I don't have anyone on screen, and um and sprints. But the main point of what we're doing tonight is the sprints. So why don't we go until the hour? So 45 minutes ish. I will say, as usual, enjoy your read, and I'll see you again soon. Hello. I'm back. And Evie's gone, but Evie's also back. And so is Anitha.
We're a
Hi.
package deal, buddy.
Oh, is that how it works? I didn't
Yeah.
realize. I'll stop inviting.
Did you say you'd stop inviting me?
Yeah. I mean, if Anitha always shows up when I invite you, then yeah, no, actually, I know that Anitha is usually busy keeping her husband happy. So
Watching those stupid TV shows, right, Anitha?
she was invited yesterday, but her priorities are all wrong.
I'm
Hi,
sorry.
Anitha. Good to see you.
Hello, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Are you almost done with House of Open Wounds?
Not even close. I'm approaching halfway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm about 230-ish pages and it's 600, so yeah.
I always forget it's that long of a book.
I'm getting there. Yeah, it's good. I've said it before. I have no problem with it. The problem is more me, not the book. Oh, that's sweet. Because you two are here, this is the best Monday ever, apparently.
See,
Ida is easily pleased. Sorry, Ron. You are correct. It is not Sunday.
And it's very late. Can you just not sleep?
It's not that late. I mean, I'm very much a night owl. I don't go to bed before midnight pretty much ever. So like
he's
this.
not old, Evie, like you and I.
No, well, no, it works the other way around. Like old people sleep less.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah. My grandmother would sit up watching television until 1 in the morning.
My grandmother would actually also do the same thing, but she also napped during the day.
So do I. I didn't today, but when
Which
I can, I
work
do.
work gets done when everyone sleeps and it is like pin drop silence.
Yeah, and she stays up until like 3 a.m. It's ridiculous.
You know, when people talk, I have to talk. I can't work.
Fair enough.
But
Apparently, you woke up at 12:30,
That's
Anitha.
no. I When did I wake up
Do
today?
you need
No,
to stop and think about it? Maybe it
I
was 12:30.
I woke up long before that. It's just that
Ah,
I am not ready to talk like whenever I wake up. I'm not a morning person. That's all I said.
no.
and you
I
were saying good morning
absolutely,
at 12:30. So
I
Uh,
absolutely relate to not being a morning person. I'm with you on that. Evie question: read Emily Henry in pub order, or do you have a recommendation?
so after Beach Read, I would suggest with going with either Funny Story or Book Lovers.
that's what I did. I read Beach Read first. Not Evie, by the way. Different person. But anyway, I read Beach Read first. It
Just in
wasn't for
case
me.
anyone's confused, the woman under
Because they
Evie
look
is not
incredibly
Evie.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the same complexion, the same hair, everything. It's very confusing. But the woman at the bottom there, not Evie. Yeah, go ahead.
I listened to Funny Story and it really worked for me. Also, listen to audio. It is very good.
But yeah, I would recommend keeping people we meet on vacation slash you and me on vacation till the penultimate book, because in my opinion it's the worst book. So leave one of the great books as your last book. So just saying.
I
Or
got that I got that audiobook from library. I pushed it away because I don't want Emily Henry to be one book for you know other for me. So I want to try book lovers first. Then I'll try people we meet on vacation.
Wait, I thought you had Happy Place.
Yes, anything, either
Okay.
Happy Place
Okay.
or Book Lovers. Both I put hold on library.
Got it. Got it.
I realized before both you guys joined, somebody, I forget who it was, sorry, suggested that I read a romance to break my reading slump.
Funny story.
And I said, I have zero interest in reading romance.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Had
Well,
seen
just when I was reading, it was in the back of my head because I don't like to be a person who says fundamentally no to something I just don't really know. Like I like to at least try things and then say, "Yeah, I tried it, not for me." But I don't know if I don't think I've ever read what I would call a romance. I've read a lot of books with a romance in them, but like a book where the romance is the point. I don't know that I've ever read any.
I will just say, Matt, that there have been a couple of people that are not romance readers, and
I know.
they have read Book Lovers by Emily Henry.
I've picked this up on BookTube that many people who I would look at and think you probably don't read romance have read Emily Henry and really enjoyed it.
Specifically, but what I'm saying is specifically Book Lovers. The people that are normally romance readers, they really enjoy Book Lovers. I don't think they've read anything other than that, but like romance-wise, but
right. And I assume Book Lovers is about book lovers.
Yes, the male and the female and male lead are an editor and two editors, an editor and an agent, literary agent. There you go.
Most of the Emily Henry characters are like that. In Beach Read also, both of them are authors. In Funny Story, female character is a librarian. So
they're not all writing book related though.
Okay. Evie knows best, obviously.
Yeah. Matt does not only read grimdark and thrillers. Matt almost never reads thrillers, and other than some really old stuff, which I would say is probably the roots of grimdark, I would say I don't read a whole lot of grimdark. Like Elric is pretty grimdark. What is George is just staring out the window or what? Hi, George.
Yep.
Hey, George, come back. George.
George what do you
hates
want? Looking over her shoulder.
Like, shut up, you.
What? Why are you yelling at me?
She's like, I'm an old lady. I gotta.
Okay, that's a very specific flavor of romance.
So, Ida, here's the thing. Here's the. Go ahead. Let me educate y'all. Joking aside. Ida, in all seriousness, Jane Austen, reading Persuasion as my first Jane Austen, and then loving all of Jane Austen's other works, ruined romance for me, because that is the bar by which I held all other romances that I tried in my young adult / adult life. And then I read Emily Henry, and I was like, oh. Like, I'm not saying it's like, oh my God, it's going to be, in 200 years, it's going to be the next best classic. But Happy Place gave me the same exact feelings that I felt when I first read Persuasion.
Okay.
That's a high standard, very high standard, and bold claim maybe.
Does it because when I think Jane Austen, having never read any Jane Austen, but the entire culture is kind of steeped in Jane Austen references.
Even I read Jane Austen, culturally ignorant one.
I bought a Jane Austen. I bought Pride and Prejudice just to keep Evie happy. At some point in the past, she gushed about it so much. I was like, I'll buy it, but I haven't gotten around.
There you go. You can read your first romance with Pride and Prejudice.
But what I was going to say, my concept, I may be totally wrong because I haven't read any Jane Austen, but my concept of Jane Austen is that really what she's doing is a sociological critique in the guise of a romance, right? It's much more about it sounds like, I think I've seen a Jane Austen movie or two. it sounds like a lot of what she's doing is sort of poking fun at satire, critique,
Which is
poking fun
why
at a
you
lot
should
of the.
read Book Lovers, because Jane Austen was the
Okay.
contemporary romance writer of her time. She was
Right.
writing romances contemporary
Okay.
for her time period.
And also, I
Okay.
think Jane Austen is more than saying like disguise in romance. It's about what she was seeing in her life and life around her during those times.
Okay. I agree with you, Ron. Elric is dark fantasy, but I would also argue that had there never been an Elric, there might have never been Grimdark.
That's true.
Maybe. I'm not going to die on that hill, but
Oh God. Oh
Um,
God. No.
Peter,
please
no.
tell me it's a joke.
It's a
Please
joke.
tell me it's a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It better be a joke.
what is? Oh, can it? Yeah, yeah. I thought that was the name of a book for a second. I was like, I've never heard of that, but yeah, I know who you mean, and I think you're probably. I hope, God, I hope you're joking. If that's what you think romance is, I recommend a therapist.
In response to Tharnell's comment about Pride and Prejudice not being a romance in the way people consider romance. So it's romance in the capital R sense of the term. It's not romance in the genre marketing definition of romance. That is correct. There's a happily ever after. So really that's all the criteria that you need for romance. Peter.
Indeed, Peter, and we will never speak to you again. It's over.
Especially Anita.
You're obviously a psychopath. After reading
Marianne,
Pride
we
and
are not
Prejudice,
getting into it. Evie will say something now. Now it will trigger me. We'll not talk about it.
Are
now.
we starting a Jane Austen war here? Is that what Marianne's trying to do?
Yeah, this is going to be the end of Anita's and my friendship. We're going to fight about this way too much, and then we're going to just be like, we're not friends anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Marianne, we're not friends anymore.
So who's on which side between
Evie
you two?
is on 2005 adaptation is the better one side.
Okay.
See, when I watched obviously the movie first, and I watched like maybe 5-6 times, especially that last scene. You know, once actually my husband's friends came home for a party. I was rewinding and rewatching that scene like continuously. Anyway, they all think anyway
Wow.
I'm crazy.
Okay.
So I loved it. But then I watched 1995 show. It was, there are few scenes I like the movie one better, and also I am not a big fan of the actress in the adaptation 1995 TV show one. At the same time, I can clearly see that 1995 adaptation was more close to the book, more faithful adaptation.
I'm sorry.
No.
Mercy does not come out of a freaking lake. That doesn't happen.
Am I gonna have to mute both of you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna say, and I'll end it here. Darcy's hand flex is infinitely better than Darcy coming out of a lake.
That was not planned. The actor did it because of his own issues.
Yep,
it worked well, but it doesn't mean that it is the close superior adaptation. Yes, it was good. It worked well. I agree with that. There are many things, especially that last scene of the movie. I love it, but the rest of it. 1995 adaptation is the closest one. It's more faithful adaptation.
So what we
you have to agree with that. Objectively, you have to agree with that.
No, false. Matt, what we need.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Thank you for this. I really appreciate it. We've got two women screaming at each other on my chill Monday night sprints. Awesome.
What we need to do to settle this, Matt, you need to read Bread and Bread.
You guys need to Jello wrestle or box or.
Listen, I'm not that violent. But no, we need you to read Jane Austen, read Pride and Prejudice, watch
both movies, and then tell you which one's better.
We have to talk about it,
I'll
discuss,
decide
do
it
a
for you.
video. Actually, yeah, it's a project. Actually, we can do that for every Jane
Pride and
Austen.
Prejudice. Let me just look in my Amazon history.
Marianne, oh god.
I did not read or watch, but when I did read and when I did watch, I make sure to like to 2022 one more just to annoy Evie.
To be honest,
One,
I can't quite remember. Did I buy Persuasion or did I buy
I
Pride and
think you bought
Prejudice?
Possible it's Persuasion because that is Evie's favorite.
yes.
Yeah, I think I might have. I don't know exactly where it is right now because it's in a stack, not on a shelf. But I think I probably did buy Persuasion. Yeah, I think you're right.
I will say that Tharnal, a better summarization of Pride and Prejudice and really all of Jane Austen's novels. And I'm going to paraphrase this incredible 1-star review of Pride and Prejudice. It's just two people. It's just two people going to each other's houses, and it's true.
I bought Pride and Prejudice, not
okay.
Not Persuasion, for whatever reason. I don't know. Yeah. It's just two people going to each other's houses. Yeah, to be honest, that's a little of what I'm afraid of. Like,
it's very character driven.
On the surface,
yeah,
Jane Austen sounds dead boring. And I know they're not boring books.
Okay.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be so popular and so many people wouldn't be so passionate about them.
I want to say something, Matt.
Like you said, it's two people visiting each other's houses. It's like the whole book.
Don't dismiss it before reading it because I think it will work for you because you do like slow burn books. You do like Robin Hood Farseer where it is slow and like day-to-day things.
Yeah.
So
nothing happens in Farseer, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, suppose take first 200 pages of Fool's Errand. It's like nothing happens actually. It's like hunting and eating fish and night ice, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's very down to earth, basic things of life. And the way she does that, it gets very close to, us, our lives, especially for women. That's why many people like it actually. It's very grounded.
It's also, though, it falls into that category of books, which I guess is in general romance, but specifically Jane Austen. I've very rarely met a man who said, "Oh my God, I love Jane Austen to death." I've met a lot of women who have said that.
I think there are so many in BookTube. Yes, I did not meet in my real life maybe before 5 years back, but now I have seen many in BookTube community that they like Jane Austen.
Yeah.
That's good actually.
Yeah. It's funny actually what you were just saying about like slow burn or on the surface boring. I'm playing a video game right now called Death Stranding 2. And I don't expect anyone to have played it. It is a very controversial game. The first one was already out. Yeah, it only came out like a week or two ago. But
there you go.
I loved the first one. But I was playing the second one this evening and I found myself thinking, you know what? This game is like Stoner by John Williams. It's not like Stoner by John Williams in any way, except if you describe Stoner to someone, that will convince them to not read it. Because it sounds like the most boring possible novel. Like if you just describe what it's about and what happens, a rough synopsis of the plot, it sounds like something you would never want to read, and yet it's awesome. And this video game is the same way. If you describe what the general gameplay loop of the game is, most people are going to go, why would you play that? But it's awesome. Death Stranding 2 is not the pinnacle of storytelling. It's actually a complete mess of a story, but it's compelling gameplay and some very compelling cutscenes. and stuff like that. But like, if you look at the overall story of the game, it's just such a clusterfuck. It's unbelievable.
Speaking of video games that have movie adaptations, Matt, did you ever play Until Dawn?
You mean Until Dawn or
Until Dawn? Yep.
Until Dawn? No, I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
Oh, well, anyways, movie adaptation came out. It's on Netflix now. So
Okay.
I will be watching that. I will be forced to watch that with my husband. So
I had like a complete universal hatred for even the idea of adapting a video game into a movie until I saw Arcane. And then I was like, okay, you can base an amazing animated series on a video game. Although I think it's very loosely based on League of Legends. It's not like I don't know anything about League of Legends, but yeah. Peter, yeah, I won't get into a big argument about a game no one but you or I knows anything about, but I find Kojima's storytelling extremely chaotic and very badly written. Like, so much of the dialogue, you just want to slap somebody, or I do anyway. But yeah, that's good to know, Marianne, because I'm single. So maybe I should start working on loving Jane Austen, and it'll score me points with the ladies. Maybe not. Unlikely. I think with at my age, with my hobbies,
It definitely works. When my husband and sorry for interrupting you.
Go ahead.
When my husband and I met, like he did tell me he read books occasionally. He did read those books, but maybe
okay, so I'm reading one book.
after our marriage, maybe he read like 3 books or 4 books. I don't know. Very rarely.
there's a level below calling yourself a reader, but not being someone who never reads. You know, like we would all call ourselves readers, you know, but I know people who read books who would never call themselves a reader. It's a different thing.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I know books. I know what books are. And I've read some of them and I liked them.
To answer Peter's question, I have not played Until Dawn, but I have been the backseat gamer to my husband playing it incessantly. So Until Dawn is one of those games where you have to you have the decision tree and the ending can be different based on and things
Right.
can happen differently based on the decisions you make.
Right.
And he plays it. Yeah, let's see. He's played it 3 or 4 times. Most recently when they released the remaster.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my fundamental, it's probably just because I went to university for media, and I think about media too much. When I think about what a video game is, it's a movie in which the script is not 100% written and in which you control one of the characters. So you're in the movie. And then adapting that into a passive medium like a movie where you just sit back and let it wash over you, it just always seems like a bad idea. And I mean, League of Legends, they didn't adapt League of Legends and make Arcane. They took the world building from League of Legends and wrote a story for the show, which makes a lot more sense. I could imagine a show or a movie that was based on the world of Death Stranding, but I don't think I'd want to see a movie of Death Stranding, the story of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because, like I said, on the surface, it's boring. Like the gameplay loop is you deliver packages in a post-apocalyptic world. That is the rough gameplay loop. And that sounds boring as hell, just as a description. But it's surprisingly engaging. It's weird. So, how do we feel about another sprint?
Yeet.
Yeah.
Anita, what are you reading?
Oh,
I know you just finished Men at Arms.
I just started City of Miracles. Last
That's
book
right.
in Divine Cities trilogy.
You're reading City of.
Yes, this is
And?
the final one.
I assume
And
it's good.
But not City of Last Chances. So
Not the right City of.
that will be done this year for sure. If it's not done, Earth won't turn. It will stop for me. The year stays.
so this is
So you're
will
just
be
going to go
your
flying
Claudius-
off into space.
it will be your Claudius the God of this year of 2025.
What do you mean it will be Claudius the God? Oh, okay. But see, Claudius the God, I took only a month and a half to finish actually. So I did not take long, like not the year long.
The City. Or The City and the City by China Mieville. That's also an option.
Which is, I've heard, not as great as many of his other books. But I haven't read City and the City. I've read the Baslag trilogy
Yeah.
and
Surprisingly,
a couple others.
Pete loved that book. City of the
yeah,
City.
Okay.
Pete
Okay.
loved that book. And recently I watched Jared's top 10 sci-fi books or something. That book featured the list.
Okay. Interesting. So let's
Evie,
start
what
a
are you
sprint.
reading? Oh, Bride. Never mind. Okay. Are
And
you
I'm
enjoying it?
reading House of Open Wounds still.
I know what you're reading. That's why I didn't ask.
Yeah.
You're not even halfway through it.
What?
Almost
No.
halfway through it. Oh,
Not
her.
you.
Right.
You will finish tonight. That I'm sure.
No, I totally won't.
No, Evie will finish tonight. Oh my God. You may finish means Evie. You won't.
I will not.
Yeah.
No. I
So
still have about
many
300
people
pages to go.
told me that this book is fantastic, ending is fantastic, so I'm super excited. Library Ladder in Jimmy's Discord, he told multiple times that this book is one of the best endings he read, and because of that, it was in his top 10 fantasy series or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
So
Other than people like you talking about it occasionally on booktube-ish things, I've never even heard of it.
I think he was a mystery author before this, and this was his first fantasy series. And he definitely used his being a mystery author because every book started like a murder and that investigation, and he incorporated fantasy and world building into that story. I think even his new book, Tainted Cup, is a murder mystery fantasy.
It is. Yep.
Cool.
Yes, let's read.
Sprint.
Splint.
Yeah, I can't do that with my.
Splint.
Evie, today
I speak German half of my life, so
I just
for
realized
me.
I was confused when you guys read Love Theoretically. I thought it was her first book. I was so confused.
Love her.
Yeah, it was Love
So we can sprint because Matt's gonna ban us if we keep talking.
Oh yeah, I'll just mute you. I don't have to ban you. I can just turn your sound off. Lips moving, no sound.
I'm about to say nobody can stop me from talking, but I guess you can.
I actually, it's not that hard. Yeah. Cool.
Actually, it is.
Sweet.
You can't stop me from talking. You can only stop.
What was that? Mute yourselves, please, so we don't hear your cats and stuff. And enjoy your reads. Hello.
And right on cue, George is like, I'm out.
I'm going to turn my ass to the camera
Yep.
because she's a cat.
Yep.
That's what they do. So I'm going to shut it down. It's midnight here. It is late-ish.
Nice.
You can't find one on my channel. There is a link to the Discord in every video on my channel. I think. Except this one. This one, because it was so spontaneous, just has a very short description. But in the description of any Sunday pub, there should be a link to the fireside. But Peter figured it out. Evie shared the link. Very good. I look forward to seeing your pets. I hope everybody has a lovely week. I can't swear that I won't do this again this week. It is a good way to motivate myself to actually get some reading done, which I haven't been doing otherwise very much. So maybe see you during the week. Otherwise, see you on Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.